Welcome to Azure Everyday with Pragmatic Works. My name is Steve Hughes. I would like to welcome you today to talk a little about Power BI. And one of the things I want to talk about is the fact that most people by now are aware of Power BI and its great capabilities to visualize your data. Many people like to bring Power BI to their users by putting Power BI and its capabilities in their applications. So in this scenario, what we want to do is talk about Power BI Embedded, which is a product Microsoft has made available to its users. However, there are a couple implementation options around Power BI Embedded, and they come into play really when we start talking about Azure. The first one I'll bring up is Power BI Embedded in Azure, which is why we want to talk about it here in Azure every day. You can purchase Power BI Embedded capacity directly from Azure, not through the normal Power BI scenarios, and we'll talk a little about the second option here in a minute. However, this capacity is meant for users outside your organization and outside your domain. While you can have users in your organization use it, they need to have Power BI license coverage, such as Power BI Pro or Power BI Premium license coverage to use Power BI Embedded in Azure directly. However, this is a great option when you want to embed Power BI in a public-facing application and not have the need to manage user accounts with Power BI. In this scenario, Microsoft considers the app to own the Power BI capacity, and the fact that you have users join you use the application, they actually would be using a master user or something similar to that in order to access it, and that's how you get the capacity and the ability to use Azure. They do not have to have accounts in your domain in order to successfully use it. The more common known embedding is in Office. And what's interesting about Power BI embedded in Office, this is designed for internal use in your organization. This is a premium version of Power BI. In this scenario, it gives you coverage for named users in your organization by using their free license option for interacting with the Power BI reports and dashboards you choose to deploy in this fashion. The Office capacity is owned by the user. It is a user name license scenario. If you're using Power BI Premium, all the users typically have a user account in your domain and a free or pro Power BI license they can use to go access this and stay in compliance. There's still a lack of clarity on some blended implementations. If you have an application or a website that is used by both external and internal users, maybe it's a customer support site of some kind, it is probably best to use Azure for the embedded scenario, but make sure that all of your users that are in your organization have license coverage as you move forward. This will allow you to have the kind of the best of both worlds, but at the same time, you're going to be blending. Work with Microsoft to get details on this. It's still unclear as the right way to handle this. Finally, the one thing you really need to remember about all of this is that if you have content creators in your organization, it doesn't matter what Power BI solution you're using, they need pro licenses to create and deploy content. Whether they're using Power BI Report Server, which we didn't even talk about today, or Power BI Embedded, or Power BI Premium, no matter what it is, you need those pro licenses for those content creators to deploy. If a user can create and deploy a report or dashboard from Power BI desktop, just make sure they have that pro license. So I know there's a little bit of licensing around this, but these are just a couple of the options around embedding. And really, this is really a licensing type of scenario. And it's really cool that you can actually go and get capacity directly from Azure to support Power BI in your applications today. If you have any other questions, click the link below. We'd be happy to reach out to you and talk to you more about this. Thank you and have a great day.